नीचे रही।
Om Shanti. All of you, you can hear me?
Om Shanti. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let's start the session. Come into the sitting posture. Keep your back neck straight. Bring the alignment. Gently close your eyes. Bring your awareness towards your breath. How the breath going in and coming out. Keep observing your natural flow of the breath. Now take a deep prolonged inhalation, deep prolonged exhalation. Now prepare yourself for the 3-time I'm chanting. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale for the Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibration, sensation. Join your both palms, wrap your palm. Place on your eyes. Feel the warmness. Very slowly, gently. While looking at your palm, gently open up your eyes. With a great smile. Om Shanti. Now, yesterday, I introduced to you the Bhastrika Pranayama. We talked about it. Now, today, we're gonna see the benefit and limitation and contraindication of the Bhastrika Pranayama. So, you know the benefit of the pranayam, right? You're working on the pranmaya kosh, strengthening the pranmaya kosh. Bhastrika pranayam, like bellow breathing, which increase the fire in your body. Fire, like blacksmith use that equipment to increase the fire. Same way you use the Bhastrika pranayam to increase the heat in your body. It's very good. The weather basically ideal for practicing this Bhastrika pranayam, that is the winter and the rainy season. During the rain and during the winter season, one has to practice the Bhastrika pranayam, and because it increases the heat, right? So it's very effective for people who are having kapha imbalance, right? People who are having kapha imbalance, it's very good for them if they practice the Bhastrika pranayam. Then all the respiratory upper and lower, like you forcefully exhaling from your nostril like this. So it's basically working on your upper respiratory system, strengthening the upper respiratory system and lower respiratory system. It's strengthening these two respiratory system. And so if these two systems are corrected, function properly, so you can avoid the asthma, bronchitis, right? Flu, cold, throat infection, right? When some people have then lots of coughing issue, it's gonna help you to cure those things. It increases the oxygen, level in the whole your body. It provides the more oxygen to your lungs, to rest of the organs of the body. It also strengthens your chest muscles, and because your chest if becomes strengthened, it means most of the blood go into your lungs when you do the bellow breathing. And immediately, very quickly, it calms the mind. Quickly you get, like I talked about the Kapal Bhati. Remember, Kapal Bhati also give you the instant energy. Same with the Bhastrika Pranayam, instant energy you will get. It's very good for the people who are having anxiety attack. So, or something which somebody having the little bit, breathing issue. If they practice this Bhastrika Pranayam, especially the Mandagati Bhastrika Pranayam, it calm down their body, calm down their mental state. So these are the benefit of the Bhastrika Pranayam. These are the physiological benefit. Psychological, yes, under the depression, a lack of confidence, or even the fear of the public speaking, somebody having it, right? Psychosomatic disease, somebody having it, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or candida, eats, or any, gynae problems female are going through back to back, any nervous breakdown happen to somebody, or depression. So Bhastrika along with the Kapalbhati is tremendous. No, it's very quickly give you the benefit. So yes, and spiritual level, that when we talked about the spirituality, it's more than that. You are increasing your prana vayu, you're increasing your prana energy, which gonna flow in entire body. When we did the Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, you purified all the channel, but by Bhasrika, you are increasing the prana vayu. When channel are open, then when you're practicing the Bhasrika, you increase the flow of the pran in your body. So these are the physiological, psychological, and spiritual benefit of the Bhasrika Pranayam. Contraindication of the Bhasrika Pranayam, major contraindication, not all the people can practice. So if somebody having the heart related, cardiovascular related problems, hypertension, if because it increase the heat in the body, it means pitta related problems, it gonna increase, right? Are you understanding? So pitta gonna increase by practicing this Bhasrika Pranayam. So if pitta is increased already, they shouldn't be practiced. During the summer, one shouldn't be practicing the Bhasrika Pranayam. High blood pressure or hypertension, or even in the fever, and vertigo. Okay, vertigo. In these conditions, one shouldn't be practicing. Pregnancy, pregnant women cannot practice. And any small or large intestine disorder, somebody having it, in that case also somebody have to avoid it. Spinal abnormalities like disc herniation or your spinal back problems, somebody having it, they should avoid it. Eye problems, because the eye infection and all kind of problem come when pitta is increased. So even that time one has to avoid the Bhastrika Pranayam. But many yogis, Asian yogis, they practice the Bhastrika Pranayam. How they survive in the caves and in the mountains. Can you imagine? By doing the pranayam, without, you have seen that yogi doesn't wear much clothes, right? They are just carrying the one shawl, and that's it. One piece of the cloth they are, wearing around them. So to make your body, comfortable with the cold, the many ancient hot yogis, they practice the Kapal Bhati along with the Bhasrika when they are living in the mountains, when they are in Himalayas for practicing Kedarnath or something, Badrinath. These areas are very cold, and many yogis, they are living there. They are doing their sadhana. But there's many yogis who are stone also. They take drugs also, certain kind of weed or something. That's also, they can't feel the cold. But again, that is a part of the Tantra Yoga. So I don't know what kind of technique they are using for the sadhana. But yogi is, we cannot comment that our yogis are drug addict or they are using certain kind of things, because they are experimenting. They are not judging anything wrong and right. They're experimenting with the things. Many yogis, I'm talking about it. But yes, there's other types of the yogis who lost themselves to the drugs and other things. They become addicted towards it. But yes, these other yogis also, they come out from that. These drugs not affected at all, and they attain the higher level of the sadhana also. So Bhastrika Pranayam is having the wonderful, pranayam in order to go on the bring the calmness and bring the instant energy to your body. Okay, so one has to practice the Bhastrika pranayam, but early in the morning, because that time is kapha time. Remember, morning time, early morning time is a kapha time. Kapha is increased, and that time when you're doing the heat related practice, Bhastrika or Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati also increase the heat in the body. So these two both practice one has to do early in the morning. So kapha would be pacify. An empty stomach. Pranayam should not be done after having a meal. So it should be done early in the morning before sunrise, or that is the best time for practicing. But yes, it doesn't mean that if sun rises, you can just stop practicing. It doesn't mean, but I'm talking about the best time, okay? Best time, best muhurat, which we call, which is the ideal time for getting the more benefit of the pranayam. So that you have to keep in your mind. And yes, we learn the Mandagati pranayam, the Bhastrika pranayam. Today we're gonna see the how it gonna affect more. We do more practice of the Mandagati pranayam, Bhastrika pranayam, and the assignment would be related to. I'll give you the assignment. Tomorrow would be the off day, and you would be doing the assignment. Okay. So, any doubt till here? Any queries you want to ask?
Ma'am, just now you have said about kapha. What is that?
You are not attending the therapy classes, no?
Yes, I didn't.
So try to go through all the videos here. Kaph, Pitta, Tridosha. There's a recorded version available on the YouTube.
I will
Because
watch
if you understand those things, you're gonna understand everything. Everything is linked, You cannot be just asana, or you can skip one part of the yoga, or philosophy, or therapy, or these things. All together do it. If you cannot take it out your time, so you can watch the recorded version. To understand what is kapha, you require the whole lecture to see it, right? I cannot just define into the one single words. Okay, okay. But just I'll give you the one word that cold and solidity is kapha. Okay, lubrication, cuff, like this. You're cuffing mucus, that is kapha. Lubrication of the body, that is kapha. But yeah, you require to understand more in detail. So watch the videos and do your comments over that, and like the videos also. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. I'll go through those videos.
Okay. And try to attend all my classes, because all the classes are linked. You see, like therapy is also important part, Ayurveda is also important part, and pranayam and the meditation. These are the most important part of the yoga. Even one thing you are skipping, another thing you cannot understand. So go through all the things, okay? And the best thing that you get the recorded version. So whenever you get time, which is you feel that this time I'm free, you can watch it. And multiple times you can watch it. And you can ask me any question whenever you get time during the classes, okay? So after watching it, if you don't understand, you can just come to the class, online class, and ask me whatever you didn't understand, okay? Now, so Bhastrika Pranayam, the bellow breathing, we're gonna again practice this breathing. Contradiction is clear to you. You cannot introduce until unless you have seen that these kind of problem, your student is not facing it or having it, right? If they are facing any kind of one problem, you cannot introduce the Bhastrika, otherwise it's gonna affect their body. Am I clear? Okay. So now we're gonna start the practice. So Bhastrika Pranayam. Today we're gonna practice into the Ardha Padmasan. So Padmasan or Ardha Padmasan, you can go for it. So this Bhastrika Pranayam, make sure your back remains straight and aligned perfectly. Now gently close your eyes. Bring your awareness towards your inhalation and exhalation. Inhale and exhale. Allow your mind to connect with it. Now take a deep, prolonged inhalation, deep, prolonged exhalation. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Now inhale, expand your lungs, your rib cage, and forcefully exhale through your nostril and release very abruptly. You have to release your chest and dropping your chest immediately. So, like you did with the flapping with your belly, same way you have to flap your chest. The Mandagati Bhastrika Pranayam, inhaling through your lungs and forcefully with effort. The time you exhale, you have to drop your chest. Again, inhale and drop your chest. Go start with the Mandagati. Make sure your mind is completely focused on inhalation and forceful exhalation. Mind is completely focused. The practice of Bhasrika Mandagati Pranayam. Anytime you get tired, you can come back to the chest breathing. Chest breathing, move, make yourself ready for the Bhasrika. Deep, prolonged inhalation. Effort with exhalation. Anytime your mind is lost, come back to your practice. The mind should be completely calm during the practice. Not a single strain come to your body. Now, if you become comfortable with the Mandagati, you can start little bit increase the pace, little bit increase according to your comfortable. If you're more comfortable, slightly increase your pace of your Bhasrika pranayam. Very slowly, come back to your chest breathing, thoracic breathing. Deep, prolonged, slow inhalation. The breath go into your lungs. Expansion of the lungs with cage. Diaphragm moves towards your belly. Deep, prolonged, slow exhalation. Diaphragm moves towards your lungs. Contraction happen in your lungs, in your rib cage. Now very slowly, come back to the natural breath. Observe how the breath going in and coming out. Now, take a deep, prolonged, slow inhalation and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for the arm. Take a deep breath. Feel the vibration. Feel the sensation. Join your both palms. Rub your palm. Place on your eyes. Feel the warmness. Very slowly while blinking, looking at your palm. Om Shanti. So, any difficulty, any problem while practicing? Good. So, tomorrow you're gonna have off of my classes. So, assignment for tomorrow, you have to write it down the pranayam about till now, whatever we did. Okay, you're gonna make the notes. So we talked about the, I think earlier in previous class, I have given you the another assignment, right? What assignment I have given you in pranayam? The abdominal breathing, right? Abdominal breathing and chest breathing in supine position and lying position. So now you have to make the assignment of the Kapalbhati and the Bhasrika one, right? So Kapalbhati, so same way you're gonna choose the position. You're gonna write that this position you're gonna choose Ardha Padmasan or Padmasan. Okay, you're gonna write what you did, the technique of that pranayama, and the experience, what you feel about it, right? What you feel about it. Do you feel any changes in your breathing? Do you feel your breath become deeper, slower, or longer, or it's remain short, shallow? Okay, you're gonna experience it. Practice by yourself and write it down your experience related to the Kapalbhati and the Mandagati Bhasrika Pranayam. Am I clear? Is this thing you're gonna do for tomorrow class? For Ayurvedic, for Ayurved, you can make, I think half of the students are missing. So I'm gonna post the question on the WhatsApp for Ayurved. Okay, assignment. So you will go through the WhatsApp and then check the assignment related to the Ayurved class. I'll write it down the question. So pranayama is this assignment you're gonna submit me on Sunday on Vinyasa ID, right? So till that you have to practice more because right now we just practice the mandagati and little bit increase the slow our pace of breathing so you can reach to the mand to madhyam gati, right? So you require more practice, but again I'm telling you, go with your own pace. Do not apply the force. Okay, do not apply your force, don't force yourself, but little push, yes, you require it. So daily, if you're practicing, automatically you're gonna see your lungs is more capable to go in the fast pace, and naturally you can reach to the madhyam gati. Okay. So we're gonna end our session here. Om Shanti, Mangal Ho. Thank you, dear. Bye bye. Enjoy your, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, and do the assignment and submit the assignment on the time. But yes, keep enjoying, keep smiling, and keep practicing. Okay. And keep asking the question. Don't hesitate to ask the question. But yes, whatever question you are having, it should be related to the class. Which class? So you're having. That's it. Thank you. Bye bye. Meet you at meditation time. Take care.